The Republican leader.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I have a resolution at the desk and ask for its immediate consideration.
Clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 586, resolved that the members of the House express their profound thanks and appreciation to the Honorable Thomas S. Foley, Speaker of the House of Representatives, for the very fair and impartial manner with which he presided over our deliberations and performed the arduous duties of the chair during his tenure as Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, might I be recognized for an extended minute or two?
Gentleman is recognized for 1 hour.
I'm gladly have to be corrected, Mr. Speaker. You and I have served in this body together since 1965, and during that time we have usually found ourselves on different sides of the issues, but we have forged a friendship for one another based on our mutual respect and love for this institution. You brought to the high position you now hold not only admirable political skills, but personal qualities of the highest order. The Almanac of American Politics, writing of the Speaker, has this to say: as a Speaker, Foley retains the reputation for fairness and intellectual honesty that he has built up for 25 years. Well, I agree with that assessment, and I'm sure every member of this House does likewise. You came to the Speaker's office at a time when our institution needed the kind of virtues you have for so long typified: integrity, decency, and a commitment to crafting reasoned solutions to difficult problems. You've always had what I like to think of as the primary virtue of the legislator: the ability to combine personal integrity, party loyalty, and parliamentary skills for the good of the nation. And when I sat with you to discuss problems facing the House, I could talk freely because I knew I could always trust your discretion and your judgment and the confidentiality of those very personal conversations that took place. Those who have not known the burdens of leadership cannot know how important it is to be able to rely on the word of a fellow leader, especially one of another party. We may disagree on the issues, and we may have diametrically opposed views of what constitutes good policy for the country. But what matters in the long run is the ability to trust each other, because trust is often the foundation upon which House members can form a consensus that transcends party lines. Mr. Speaker, you have well served your party, this institution, and the nation. I personally hold you in the highest personal esteem and regard, and I wish you and Heather all the best in the years ahead.
The chair would like to ask my distinguished Republican colleague if he would take the chair.
I'm happy to yield to the distinguished speaker.
Will the gentleman please take the chair?
I guess we've got to adopt this resolution. House will be in order. Let's move it along. Chair yields to the distinguished Speaker of the House for whatever comments and for how long a period.
I'd have to, Mr. Speaker, I have to remind you, you have to put the question on the resolution.
Well, I thought I'd let you. Would you prefer that I do that before you speak on behalf of your own resolution, Mr. Speaker?
It's always better to get the resolution passed before the speech.
Without objection, the resolution is passed.
I want to say it's a great pleasure for me to address you, Mr. Speaker, and to say that all that you have said and my good friend Dave Bonnier said has been a very touching thing for me, and particularly to be here on this last day of the 103rd Congress with so many of my colleagues and to have a chance to say to you, all of you, Republicans and Democrats, what an honor it has been for me to serve with you. This institution is a great institution. It is unfortunately not always seen in its full and proper dimensions by our fellow citizens. And I think that is a great tragedy because of all the institutions of our public life. It is in the Congress and particularly in the House of Representatives where this country's judgment and hopes and concerns and ambitions and decisions are made for the future. We have a task, I think, all of us, those in public life and those who leave it, to ensure that the true dimension of the work that's done here is understood and appreciated.
But more important, the Speaker just spoke with great eloquence and insight into this institution and what we do here as a body. And I just want to say to all the members on both sides of the aisle how much I appreciate the camaraderie and the cordiality that I've enjoyed during my tenure in this body, and all those wonderful good things that have happened to me this past year and your acknowledgement from time to time, it's overwhelming. And I just want you all to know, some of us, chose to leave voluntarily, some obviously did not. But that's the way the system works. But the more important thing is, I guess, those memories that we take away from this body, hopefully they'll always be cherished ones of those wonderful days we spent as a member of the U.S. Congress. Thank you, each and every one, and I yield back to the distinguished speaker.